What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, and today I will be doing a deck profile on the Ancient World Max Dragon deck from the brand new set True Awakening of Deities. So this deck is used by Daijiro in the anime, featuring only the strongest monsters. That's why in Japanese it is called Saikyoryu, which means strongest dragon. So before I begin, I would like to explain how this deck works. Basically, this is an evolution deck, and if you guys ever played Vanguard, it is similar to it. We use a set spell which allows us to upgrade the dragon every single turn, both for yours and your opponent's turn. Because at the end of each player's turn, you can call a size 4 or greater max dragon from your hand on top of by paying its call cost. And most of the dragons here have restriction which they can only be caught by max dragon effects. So what you can do is you can call Zerberus at the end of your turn, you become this form, your opponent's turn, it becomes 5th form, and your turn, you'll be evolved to its ultimate form, which is the Zerberus Lost, the Lost Vader form of Zerberus. As crazy as it seems, it is one of the easier decks to use right now. I highly recommend you guys to try out this deck and let me know what you think. So without further ado, let's get started with the deck profile. So for the buddy, we use Zerberus because this is the very first card that you will call ever in this deck. And one unique thing about this Ancient World deck, it is a deck that you want to stand alone. So it has a skill called against all odds. If you have only one monster on the field, you can activate all its precious abilities. So all of your different dragon forms do have the ability against all odds. So which means you will try not to play any size zeros in this deck so that you will be alone on the field. So this deck is in a way kind of like a loner. So yeah, we have Zerberus as a buddy because you want to get the life gain ASAP. So first up, we'll go through 4 copies of Zerberus itself. It's a size 3, so you'll be starting up your game with Zerberus. When this card enters the field, you put up to one size 4 or greater monster or an Overcrest from your deck into your hand. So basically what you do is you want to search any one of these. Overcrest is very important. You must have Overcrest first, and if you already have Overcrest in your hand, then you can search up for evolved forms. But do not worry because the other forms, when they are caught as well, will be able to search out for other forms. So most importantly, you want to get your Overcrest onto the field so that it can start evolving and getting stronger. So against all odds, if this is the only monster on the field, this card gains power plus 2k, defense plus 2k, and 1 extra critical. So basically it's a 10k attack and defense, and 3 crits. It has double attack, and all cards on the field cannot be destroyed and all returned by opponent card effects. So this is very important because if Overcrest were to die, you are dead because all the monsters right here is size 4 and above, and you'll suffer oversize and die. So this is why this card has the ability to protect all cards on your field, which is very powerful. And of course, the reason why we don't play size 0 is because if you have a size 0 on the field, against all odds will be shut off, and your monsters will still be affected by card effects and instructions. So with this, your Overcrest will never be destroyed unless the following situations: Brawl Zeus, sending monsters, because sending is not considered bouncing or destroying, but it's just sending off. It kind of like breaks the rule. So Brawl Zeus kind of destroys this card. This deck actually fears Brawl Zeus. Secondly, perhaps Vanity, because it sends off cards off instead of destroying or bouncing. And of course the card called Chest Break. So if you're fighting against this deck, and this deck is very relevant in the meta, couple of Chest Break will actually bring this deck down. But don't worry because in the future support there are actually ways to counter Chest Break, which is crazy. For now, this is a very powerful deck if it's not stopped. And in the future, it's just going to get stronger with the new support, which has already been announced. Alright, so yep, so that's pretty much the goal. You got to search out your Overcrest. If you already have your Overcrest in your hand, search out for your future forms so that you can continue the game and keep farming. So 4 copies of Zerberus. Next, we have 3 copies of size 4 Zerberus. This card can only be caught by Max Dragon effect. So call cost, you must put a size 3 Max Dragon from your future drop zone. So basically when you use Overcrest effect to pay its call cost, you just send it away and you just evolves basically. It's really cool. When this card enters the field, put up to 1 Max Dragon monster from your deck into your hand and shuffle your deck. And for this turn and the next turn, so for this turn and your opponent's turn, this card gains 15,000 defense, which means it's 25,000 defense. It is insane. Okay, basically I could tell because he's wearing really thick armor. Since this card can't be destroyed and can be sent back, the only way is your opponent has to link like crazy to even hit 25k. And of course, one single negate basically ends your turn. This is why Max Dragon is the strongest monsters in Buddyfight only. And against all odds, if you have only one monster on the field, all cards on the field cannot be destroyed, return to hand. So all your forms is against all odds, which makes this incredibly powerful. Next, we have 3 copies of Zed, which is size 5. Not really used to saying size 5 because these are really powerful. We have a 25k attack power, 4 critical, and 15k defense. Incredibly menacing looking. and it has triple attack as well. So as previously mentioned, Overcrest, use Overcrest to evolve it. Probably you evolve it after your opponent's turn, which is crazy because by your next turn you'll be left with a triple attacking Behemoth, which is crazy. Korkos, put a size 4 Max Dragon, similar to its previous effect. When this card enters the field, put up to 1 Max Dragon from your deck in your hand, so you could find your final form. You will never miss Ride because it's like a crazy chain ride. As long as you get your Zebros, which is very easy because we have a lot of draw power and we have a lot of search engine, this deck runs very smooth. The kind of decks I love are consistent decks, and this is just the epitome of consistency. So against all odds, this against all odds is slightly different. All cards on the field can be destroyed, return to hand, or rested by whole card's effect. So it actually gains a new ability which is cannot be rested, which is crazy. If you don't rest a 4-crit monster, you're dead. So yeah, this thing is pretty OP, I would say. If you do not handle it well, aka Overcrest, you are dead. Alright, and final form, which is the Lost form. It looks so cool. You guys have the SP, it looks even sicker. So one Zebros, which is final form, is a 30k 4 crit and 20k defense. So it's quadruple attack with 4 critical. That is instantly 16 damage if it's not handled right. So Korkos, put one size 5 Max Dragon, same. And when this card enters the field, destroy all cards on opponent's field. All cards, so not only monsters. Deal 1 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed. So not only you're controlling your bot, you're actually dealing them some burn damage, which is awesome. So against all odds, if you have only 1 monster on the field, all cards can be destroyed, bounce, and rested broken cards effect. So yeah, good luck handling this. This thing is crazy and it will just tear through your field. Alright, 16 life points instantly just wiped off. You have penetrate, so even if you're using walls, you are pretty much dead because this guy will just tear through your monsters and into your life points. So yeah, 2 copies because it is searchable. One thing is very important about this deck is you really wanna be careful of the ratios you play. So 2 copies is fine. And yeah, generally you only need 1 at that turn. When you evolve to him, your opponent's dead because you win the game. There are also some combos which you can do, which I will be showing later, which makes this deck really crazy. So now let's go into the spells. First, 4 copy of Overcrest, aka the key of the deck. Even though you have the strongest monsters, you will also need to be supported by the strongest set spell. If you have a Max Dragon on your field, you may put monsters of total size 6 on your field. So this basically unlocks your size 6 on your field. So if this Overcrest is dead, you are in huge trouble. But thankfully your dragons negates all destruction or bouncing on this card, so it will never ever leave unless you have specific cards that counter this. So if your opponent are not prepared for you, they are dead instantly, I have to say, because this is so hard to fight. I thought this deck is crazy. So abilities of all cards on the field cannot be nullified by card effects, so really impressive because cards like Frozen Stars cannot affect your gameplay as well. At the end of each player's turn, you may call a size 4 or greater Max Dragon from your hand or drop zone. So you don't even need to have the card on your hand. So one cool thing is there's actually some way to dump your Max Dragon into your drop zone, so they can just fetch it back with this effect. Yeah, so it is really crazy and it's really important. If you don't have this card in your hand, please search it out with Zebros because you really need this card. This is the key of the deck. Next, we play 4 copies of Lord of the Skies. This is a searcher for Zebros and Overcrest. This card is amazing because it searches out your main base, which is Zebros and Overcrest, from the deck or drop zone, so even you don't really worry if he somehow ends up in the gauge, you just pay the gauge and just fetch it back with this card. Lord of the Skies is free and it's not once per turn. I don't know what they're thinking because this is just kind of overpowered. Simple but overpowered. What I like. Next, we have some draw engine, Dragon Lord Blastforth. So that's 4 copies, it's a triple rare. It's a cast cost, drop a Max Dragon from your hand. So basically you need to discard 1 Max Dragon, put the top card of the deck into your gauge, and gain 1 life, and draw 2 cards. That's pretty cool. Then if you drop a card that is size 4 or greater, draw a card, so you're drawing 3 cards, gaining 1 gauge and 1 life. Wow. This is one of the best draw engines in the game, and also Ancient World do have a lot of awesome draw engine, so this is great. Have a set of drop zone since you can call them from the drop zone as well. Next is 4 copies of Seamless Dragon Lord. This is a very powerful card for not 1 but 2 reasons. Cards cost 1 gauge. First off, counter. It is a counter ability. You can draw 1 card, so basically you're not losing anything, and choose one of the following effects. Call up to 1 Max Dragon monsters from your hand by paying its call cost. Do you know what this means? Let me show you something that actually makes this really disgusting. If you have Zebros Seed, and this is in your hand, okay, usually Zebros Seed, right? You will be at Zebros Seed when, I think, okay, let's say you're going first. This might take a little while, but I have to show you this combo because it is so cool. Alright, so let's say you are at Zebros Z. Alright, so let's say you're going first. Zebros, Overcrest effect. You evolve at the end of your turn to size 4. Your opponent's turn, oh no, I can't kill this 25k. You're gonna evolve at the end of your turn. So during your turn, you'll be at Z. Okay, so why is this crazy? It's because Z has triple attack in its 4 crits. So think about this. It cannot be rested. You attack 1, 2, 3. Seamless Dragon Lord. You can evolve a Max Dragon from your hand. So if you have this ready, just evolve one more time and do additional 4 attacks, which is 16 crits. So 16 plus 12, that's nearly 30 crits for one simple card like this. That is not even a minus because you draw back that one card. So this is the reason why this is so disgusting, because Max Dragon may seem like a slow and dopey deck, but no, this deck is fast and crazy. So if you like crazy decks like me, check it out, man. And let's not forget, you can stand in case you're already at the final form. Let's say you're already at the final form. Alright, I got 4 crit, I attack you 4 times. And let's just make it a 5th time to finish your opponent off. You know? So this is a crazy card. Yeah. It's not even once per turn. Yeah, so you could evolve, then if your opponent doesn't die, you draw. You could draw another copy, that's why it's crazy. So yeah, it's 4 copies of that. Now let's get on to defensive spells. So Max Dragons not only have the best dragons, they also have insane defense. First off, we have Lord Break, Heartwind Summon. So this card is basically a Dragoborn, which gain life equals to the size monster size. So you nullify destruction of your size 6 Zebros and you gain 6 life. Wow, there's no cost. That's crazy. Nullify destruction. So even if one manage to beat through penetrate, it doesn't die. So it doesn't get destroyed, so the penetrate doesn't go through. This is crazy and this is good. Nullify destruction. It's a different text, so read it up. Next is 4 copies of Flame Gale. Another crazy card. So at the cost of 2 gauge, you get the counter. Choose a Max Dragon on the field. Rest all cards on opponent's field with critical less equals or less to the chosen card's critical. So unless you have 5 critical, this guy is just basically resting your whole field for 2 gauge, and it's not once per turn. So yeah, a very powerful lockdown. Especially if you were to less rest stuff, chances are your opponent will not be able to hit through that 20k defense, which is insane. Now one of my favorite classic cards is Rough Trigger. 2 copies of Rough Trigger. Cast cost, pay 1 gauge and pay 1 life. Counter ability. Choose a monster on the field. For the next time it will be destroyed, the monster remains on the field. The reason why this is slightly different from this effect is because it says remains on the field, whereas this says nullify destruction. Nullify destruction means the monster doesn't even go to drop zone, whereas Rough Trigger means the monster still goes to drop zone, so it still survives, but you still have to take the penetrate. So this is slightly inferior to this, because you have to pay 1 gauge and 1 life, and you still take penetrate if you do get penetrated. But it does give it counter attack for the turn. Alright, so now some tech in draw engine. We play 4 copies of Dragon Emperor Legends. Really classic. Charge, draw, heal. Everyone loves that once per turn. So 4, because I really want to see it in my hand. 4 copies of Divine Dragon Creation. Pay 2 life to draw 2 cards. Life is not a problem since you have a giant tank protecting your life. You just draw and gain damn hand size, man. And finally, let's go on to weapons. 4 copies of 6-pack aka Gold Steels. Gold Steel is pretty cool because it is an item that you can use to attack even if you have a monster in the center. So if Zebros is protecting you, you can fight along him. I really like to fight along my monsters. That's why I always play weapon in my Ancient World deck. So when this card attacks and you have a Max Dragon on your field, it gains double attack. So you have a 2 crit double attacking weapon. So it's basically 4 crit. Honestly, this is one of the strongest common weapons that there might be. So 4 copies of weapon so you can fight alongside your buddy. So I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile on the Ancient World Psycho Ryu deck from S-BT03. Be the first to learn about the strongest deck in the meta by smashing the like button and subscribing to my channel. So once again, thank you guys for watching, peace out and love you guys, rawr!